Living alone as an older person can feel like a quiet victory. It often comes after years of responsibility, sacrifice, and caring for others. For many, it represents freedom, peace, and finally having life move at your own pace. But alongside that freedom comes a set of hidden challenges that don't always show themselves right away. They arrive slowly, quietly, often disguised as comfort or routine. Many older adults only recognize them after they've already taken a toll on their health, happiness, or a sense of security. What I want to share in this video comes from countless stories, conversations, and lived experiences of people who have walked this path before. These are not fears meant to scare you, but lessons meant to protect you. Because living alone doesn't have to mean struggling alone, and independence doesn't have to come at the cost of well-being. One of the first things to avoid is slowly drifting into complete isolation. It rarely happens overnight. It often starts with turning down an invitation because you're tired, skipping a call because you'll do it later, or choosing the comfort of staying home one more day. Over time, days blend into weeks and weeks into months with very little human interaction. Many older adults have shared how surprised they were by how lonely they felt, even though they believed they were fine on their own. Humans are social by nature, and connection is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Avoid waiting until loneliness becomes heavy. Make small, intentional efforts to stay connected. This could mean a regular phone call with a friend, attending a community gathering once a week, or even participating in online groups. These moments don't need to be frequent or exhausting, they just need to be consistent. A little connection goes a very long way. Another important thing to avoid is neglecting your health simply because no one is watching. When you live alone, there's no one to remind you to take your medication, schedule checkups, or notice changes in your routine. Many older adults admit they started postponing doctor visits, ignoring small symptoms, or skipping exercise because it felt easier in the moment. But small delays can quietly grow into serious problems. Taking care of your health is an act of self-respect. Set reminders, create routines, and treat appointments as non-negotiable commitments. Equally important is mental health. Living alone can sometimes amplify feelings of anxiety, sadness, or worry. Avoid bottling these feelings up. Talking to someone, whether it's a friend, family member, or professional, can lighten a heavy emotional load more than you might expect. Safety is another area that should never be brushed aside. Many older people fall into the habit of thinking, "I've been fine all these years, nothing will happen now." But living alone means that if something does happen, help may not be immediately available. Falls, sudden illnesses, or household accidents can become serious simply because no one is there. Avoid ignoring basic safety measures. Keep your home well lit, remove tripping hazards, and ensure your phone is always within reach. Some people choose emergency alert systems, while others rely on regular check-ins from neighbors or family. These precautions aren't signs of weakness, they are signs of wisdom and foresight. Living alone can also make it easier to slip into unhealthy habits without noticing. Eating irregular meals, snacking out of boredom, moving less, or relying too heavily on television for company can slowly affect both physical and emotional health. Many older adults describe how their routines became less structured once they lived alone. Meals lost meaning, sleep schedules shifted, and activity levels dropped. Avoid letting your days become unbalanced. Try to maintain simple routines that give your day rhythm. Prepare meals with intention, move your body in ways that feel good, and create small daily rituals that bring a sense of purpose. You don't need perfection, you just need awareness and care. Another common struggle is letting your home become a burden instead of a comfort. A house that once felt lively and manageable can begin to feel overwhelming when you're the only one maintaining it. Some people push themselves too hard, trying to keep up with large spaces, repairs, and chores out of pride or attachment. Others feel trapped by memories and guilt at the thought of downsizing. Avoid letting your home drain your energy. Be honest with yourself about what you can manage comfortably.
There's no shame in simplifying your living space or asking for help with maintenance. Your home should support your life, not exhaust it. Losing a sense of purpose is another quiet danger. After retirement, children moving away, or the loss of a partner, many older adults find themselves asking, "What am I living for now?" When you live alone, this question can feel even louder. Avoid falling into the belief that your most meaningful years are behind you. Purpose doesn't disappear with age, it evolves. Whether it's learning something new, helping others, creating, teaching, or simply caring deeply about something, purpose gives life direction. Even small goals can provide structure and motivation. The key is to keep engaging with life, rather than waiting for life to come to you. Another thing to avoid is the belief that you must do everything by yourself. Independence does not mean isolation. Many older adults hesitate to ask for help because they don't want to be a burden or appear weak. Over time, this mindset can lead to unnecessary stress and exhaustion. Accepting help is not giving up independence, it's preserving it. Whether it's help with groceries, home repairs, or simply having someone check in on you, support allows you to live more comfortably and safely. No one thrives completely alone, no matter how strong they are. Your living environment also plays a powerful role in how you feel day to day. When you live alone, it's easy to let clutter build up or small repairs go unacknowledged. Over time, this can affect both safety and mood. Many people don't realize how much their surroundings influence their mental state. A cluttered space can increase stress, while a clean and organized environment can bring calm. Avoid neglecting your home environment. You don't need to do everything at once. Small, steady efforts make a big difference. Time can also begin to blur when you live alone. Without external schedules, days may lose their shape, making it easy to feel disoriented or unmotivated. Avoid letting your days drift without structure. Simple routines, planned activities, or weekly traditions can anchor your time and give each day meaning. Knowing what day it is and having something to look forward to can greatly improve emotional well-being. Another important thing to avoid when living alone as an older person is skipping emergency preparedness. Many people assume emergencies won't happen to them, or they believe they'll figure it out if it happens. But when you live alone, preparation becomes far more important. Power outages, medical emergencies, extreme weather, or even something as simple as losing phone service can feel much more frightening when there's no one else around. Several older adults have shared stories of feeling helpless simply because they hadn't planned ahead. Avoid leaving yourself vulnerable. Keep emergency contacts written down and easy to find. Have basic supplies like water, non-perishable food, medications, flashlights, and a charged power bank. These small steps can turn a stressful situation into a manageable one and give you peace of mind every day. Financial disorganization is another common issue that quietly creates stress. When you live alone, there's no second set of eyes to notice missed bills, unnecessary subscriptions, or unusual expenses. Paperwork can pile up, accounts can be forgotten, and small mistakes can snowball. Many older adults admit they felt overwhelmed by finances simply because they avoided looking at them regularly. Avoid letting money become a source of anxiety. Create a simple system that works for you. Review your bank statements monthly, keep important documents in one place, and automate essential payments when possible. If finances feel confusing, asking for help from a trusted person or professional is a wise step, not a failure. Another thing to avoid is ignoring changes in your body or mind. When you live alone, it's easy to dismiss symptoms because no one else is observing you daily. Fatigue, memory lapses, balance issues, or changes in mood might be brushed off as just aging. But early attention can make a huge difference. Avoid minimizing changes that persist. Pay attention to patterns, not just single moments. Keeping a small journal or notes about how you feel can help you notice trends and communicate more clearly with healthcare providers. It's also important to avoid relying too heavily on screens for companionship. Television, phones, and the internet can be comforting, but when they replace real interaction completely, they can deepen feelings of loneliness. Many older adults describe spending entire days watching TV without realizing how empty they felt afterward. Avoid letting screens become your primary connection to the world. Use them as tools, not substitutes. Balance screen time with activities that engage your mind and body, such as reading, walking, hobbies, or conversations. Another subtle trap is neglecting personal routines and self-care. When no one is around, it can feel tempting to skip grooming, wear the same clothes daily, or stop caring about appearance altogether. While comfort is important, completely letting go of self-care can affect self-esteem and mental health. Avoid treating yourself as unimportant. Simple acts like getting dressed, maintaining hygiene, and creating a morning routine send a powerful message to your mind that you still matter deeply. Avoid letting fear stop you from experiencing life. After a fall, illness, or loss, many older adults become overly cautious, limiting their activities more than necessary. While safety is important, fear-based living can shrink your world. Avoid assuming danger everywhere. Instead, assess risks realistically and find ways to stay active safely. Confidence grows when you continue engaging with life rather than retreating from it. Another thing to avoid is holding resentment or unresolved emotions inside. Living alone gives you a lot of time with your thoughts, and unresolved feelings can grow louder in silence. Old regrets, grief, or anger can resurface unexpectedly. Avoid carrying emotional weight alone. Talking through these feelings, writing them down, or seeking counseling can bring relief and clarity. Emotional health deserves attention just as much as physical health. It's also wise to avoid ignoring changes in your social circle. Friends move away, become ill, or pass on, and social circles naturally shrink with age. Avoid waiting until you feel lonely to rebuild connections. Be proactive about forming new ones. Community centers, classes, volunteer work, and faith groups can provide opportunities to meet people who understand your stage of life. New connections don't replace old ones, but they can add richness and support. Another common mistake is neglecting physical movement. Living alone often leads to more sitting and less movement without anyone noticing. Over time, this affects strength, balance, and independence. Avoid becoming sedentary. You don't need intense exercise. Gentle walks, stretching, or light household movement can maintain mobility and confidence. Movement is one of the strongest tools for preserving independence. Avoid letting pride prevent you from making necessary changes. Whether it's using mobility aids, asking for help, or adjusting your living situation, pride can sometimes stand in the way of safety and comfort. Accepting change doesn't mean giving up control. It means adapting wisely. Many older adults say they wished they had made adjustments sooner rather than waiting until things became difficult. Another thing to avoid is forgetting to plan for the future. Living alone today may feel manageable, but circumstances can change. Avoid putting off conversations and decisions about future care, legal matters, or living preferences. Planning ahead gives you control and reduces stress later. It also eases the burden on loved ones if decisions ever need to be made.
One important thing many older adults overlook is avoiding mental stagnation. When you live alone, days can become repetitive, and without realizing it, your mind may not be challenged as often as it once was. This doesn't mean intelligence fades, but stimulation decreases. Avoid letting curiosity disappear from your life. Learning keeps the mind flexible and engaged.
Reading, puzzles, writing, learning a new skill, or even exploring unfamiliar topics can keep your thinking sharp. Many older people have shared how discovering a new interest later in life brought unexpected joy and confidence. Your brain thrives on engagement, no matter your age. Another thing to avoid is comparing your life to others. When living alone, especially with access to social media or stories from others, it's easy to feel like you're doing something wrong because your life looks quieter. Avoid measuring your happiness against someone else's highlight moments. A peaceful, slower life is not a lesser life. Contentment often looks simple from the outside. Focus on what brings you calm, comfort, and meaning, rather than what you think life is supposed to look like. Avoid neglecting your spiritual or inner life, whatever that means to you. For some, it's faith. For others, it's reflection, gratitude, or connection to nature. Living alone offers space for inner growth, but only if you choose to engage with it. Without intention, that space can turn into emptiness. Many older adults describe how quiet moments became more meaningful when they developed a daily practice of reflection, prayer, or mindfulness. Inner peace doesn't come from distractions, it comes from connection within. Another common mistake is avoiding change simply because it feels uncomfortable. Living alone often reinforces routine, and routines can become rigid. Avoid telling yourself, "This is just how it is now," when something no longer serves you. Whether it's rearranging your space, changing your schedule, or trying something new, flexibility keeps life alive. Change doesn't mean instability. Sometimes it's exactly what restores balance. Avoid assuming that asking for companionship means weakness. Some older adults resist companionship, whether friendships, group activities, or even shared living arrangements, because they believe it threatens their independence. In reality, healthy companionship strengthens independence. Avoid isolating yourself out of fear of dependence. Connection does not take freedom away, it supports it.
Another thing to avoid is ignoring small warning signs of burnout. Living alone means you carry all responsibilities yourself, even if they seem manageable. Over time, this can lead to quiet exhaustion. Avoid pushing through fatigue without rest. Listen to your body and mind. Slowing down when needed allows you to keep going longer with strength and clarity. Avoid letting grief define your entire identity. Loss is common later in life, and when you live alone, grief can feel heavier. Avoid rushing yourself through it or pretending it doesn't exist, but also avoid letting it consume every part of who you are. Many older adults describe healing not as forgetting, but as learning how to carry memories without losing themselves. Life continues to hold meaning even alongside loss. Another overlooked issue is avoiding poor sleep habits. Living alone often disrupts sleep routines. Irregular bedtimes, excessive napping, or late-night screen use can quietly damage sleep quality. Avoid treating sleep as optional. Rest affects mood, memory, balance, and overall health. Creating a calming nighttime routine can improve not just sleep, but your entire day. Avoid underestimating your value to others. Some older people believe that because they live alone, they no longer matter as much to the world. This belief can be deeply damaging. Your experiences, stories, and presence have value. Whether through mentoring, listening, helping, or simply being kind, you still have something important to offer. Avoid shrinking yourself because you think your time has passed. It hasn't. Finally, avoid forgetting that living alone is not the same as being alone in life. Independence is a chapter, not a sentence. Many people live alone and still feel deeply connected, fulfilled, and secure. The key is awareness. By avoiding these common pitfalls, you protect not just your safety, but your joy, dignity, and peace of mind. Living alone as an older person can be a beautiful experience when approached with intention and care. It offers space to grow, reflect, and live life on your own terms. With the right mindset and habits, this chapter can be one of strength, clarity, and quiet fulfillment.
Living alone as an older person can be both a gift and a challenge. Throughout this video, we talked about the quiet mistakes that can slowly make life harder when you're on your own. Things like drifting into isolation, neglecting health and safety, losing structure in your days, holding on to habits or belongings that no longer serve you, and forgetting how much purpose, value, and strength you still have. None of these issues happen overnight. They build slowly, often unnoticed, which is why awareness is so important. By staying connected, caring for your body and mind, asking for help when you need it, and remaining open to growth and change, living alone can become a chapter of peace, clarity, and confidence rather than loneliness or stress. This stage of life isn't about merely getting through the days, it's about living them with intention. Your independence matters, your well-being matters, and your life still holds meaning, depth, and opportunities for fulfillment. If this video resonated with you or helped you reflect on your own journey, please give it a like. It helps more people find content like this. And if you'd like to continue these thoughtful conversations about aging, independence, and living well, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.